Hey everyone, welcome to Cheat Masters. Hope you enjoy the story. It all began like many things do, with something small. Rachel and I were the type of couple who planned every detail. Where we went, who we spent time with, even the movies we watched. She had an aversion to chaos, and I couldn't stand a drunken drama, especially with someone playing guitar in the background. One evening, I was lounging on the couch, scrolling through my phone, while Rachel clanged pots and pans in the kitchen, occasionally muttering a few choice words at a particularly stubborn frying pan. "Did you figure out a place for your bachelorette party yet?" I asked, glancing up. "Not yet," she called back. "I swear, the girls and I have been at every place in town. I don't know where else to go." I smirked and set my phone aside. "I know a bar. My buddies told me the drinks are amazing, and the chef actually knows what he's doing. So you won't be stuck with some hair in your Caesar salad, or worse." Rachel appeared in the doorway, leaning against a frame. "What bar is that?" "Not far from that mall you love. Here, take a look." It didn't take much convincing. Less than an hour later, she was on the phone with her friends, making arrangements. Meanwhile, I stepped out onto the balcony and dialed up a friend of mine who worked as a bartender at that very spot. "Hey, do me a favor," I said. "Keep an eye on her if you can, and if something goes wrong, give me a call." He agreed. The night of Rachel's bachelorette party, I had a peaceful evening at home. She left with her friends, and I kicked back on the couch with a beer and a movie. The film was so boring that I ended up falling asleep halfway through. The next morning, my phone rang. It was my bartender friend. "Where have you been, man?" he snapped the second I picked up. Sleeping," I replied, still half asleep. "What's going on?" "Rachel, well, she really went all out last night, dude." My stomach twisted. "What do you mean?" "It was fine at first. She and her friends were laughing, drinking, having fun. Then she got up on the table, then the pole, and ended up on her knees in front of some guy. And then she left with him in his BMW. My face went red. "You're sure?" "I saw it myself, bro. I even sent you a picture of the car." I hung up quickly and opened the photo. A black BMW. I recognized it immediately. It was her ex's. Just then, the front door opened. "Hi, babe. I'm back." Rachel's voice was bright, almost too bright. "Whoa, are you headed somewhere? Business trip or something?" I was sitting on the edge of the couch, my hands clenched so tightly my nails dug into my palms. There she was, my fiancée, standing in the doorway. She still had on her heels, her purse in hand, and it smelled suspiciously like another man's cologne. "No, Rachel," I said, my voice tight with barely contained anger. "You're the one going somewhere." She blinked, looking confused, or maybe just tired. "What the heck, Luke? What's your problem? You keep flipping out on me for no reason. I'm so tired of your nonsense." "Yeah, well, I'm tired of you riding around drunk with your ex." I shot back. "What? Are you out of your mind?" she screamed, her voice so high-pitched that I almost covered my ears. "You're accusing me of something without any proof?" I silently handed her my phone, showed her the messages from my bartender friend, the picture of the black BMW, and the full details of how my future wife spent her night. Her fingers trembled as she read, and I could practically see the expression on her face change from confusion to panic, and then, almost like shame. "Babe, it's not what you think," she said weakly, like even she wasn't convinced by her own words. "Not what I think." I stood up, closing the distance between us. "Rachel, you got up on a table, then on a pole, then apparently ended up on your knees in front of your ex and left with him in his car. What am I supposed to think?" She wouldn't meet my eyes. Her lips were trembling. I don't remember," she whispered. "Of course you don't," I said, bitterness dripping from every word. "How convenient. Get wasted, do knows what, and then say you have no memory of it." "Babe," she tried to grab my hand, but I jerked away. "We're getting married soon." "No, Rachel," I interrupted, my voice cold. "We're not. You can pack your things and leave right now." She froze, as if trying to figure out if I was serious. Then, like she was in a daze, She walked over to the suitcases I had already pulled out. "You can't just kick me out," she murmured, almost to herself. "I can, and I am," I said firmly. She started packing, her movements slow, like she was hoping I would change my mind. But I didn't. "So your girlfriends kept quiet about all this, or did they egg you on?" I asked as I watched her fold a dress. "They were drunk too," she muttered. "Right. Everyone was drunk, so no one remembers anything." "How convenient," I said, my tone sharp. She didn't respond, just kept packing. I walked over, grabbed her shoulders, and turned her to face me. "Rachel, do you even realize what you've done?" She lifted her gaze, tears streaming down her face. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she whispered. "But it did," I said, my voice cold. I stepped away, walking back to the couch. "I still love you," she said, but the words fell hollow. "Love me?" I repeated. "Is that why you ran off with your ex?" He just gave me a ride," she stammered, sounding like she knew how pathetic the excuse was. "A ride," I said slowly. "Sure he did." She stood there, clutching her suitcase, sobbing quietly. "It's over, Rachel. Go." She nodded, dragging her suitcase behind her toward the door. She paused on the threshold, turning back with red, puffy eyes. "Babe," she started. "Go, Rachel. Just go." She nodded again, then left, gently closing the door behind her. And then it was just me, alone, with the knowledge that she had betrayed me, betrayed us. Everything we had was gone. I couldn't forgive her for that. Months have passed since that night. And sometimes I wonder if it could have turned out differently. But sometimes walking away is the only way to move forward, no matter how much it hurts.